Welcome to episode 2 of Northern Dreams for 2020 as we continue the TAB Northern Winter Series. My name is Jason Bonington. I'm filling in for the great Simon O'Donnell. This is a jockey change you don't want, but we're going to try and look after the show as best we can. And the man who's going to give you all the good oil and all the winners, we hope, is Chris Nelson. How are you, Chris?
I'm going very well, thanks, Jason. I must say I'm pretty impressed. I mean, you've only been in the show a week and you've already booted the host from the chair. I mean, that's a phenomenal effort.
You'd never let me too close. You never, ever let me too close, Chris, and you know this because I will do damage. There's no doubt about that. And I'm even wearing the maroon blazer. I thought to myself, if I'm going to be doing a Northern Queensland series, I want to be wearing the maroon blazer. I want to ask you quickly, I know that you're a big Richmond fan in the AFL. Who do you barrack for in the NRL? If you don't say the Cowboys, you might not be on the show next week.
Well, as you know, I moved up here a couple of years ago and I'm yet to find an NRL team. As you know, I am struggling, I must admit, to get into the NRL. But look, they tell me the Cowboys, but I can tell you one team I probably won't be supporting, and that's the Broncos.
Yeah, well, you know how to pick a winner. Well, at least recently with Richmond. So you don't want to go with the Broncos at the moment, unfortunately. They are not racing at the peak of their powers. Let's get stuck into the previews. Let's start with the first feature at Mackay on Friday. It is, of course, the Guineas. It's going to be a wonderful race. The field's there. And there's a couple in particular. Well, Hey Pal's going to be your favourite here. It led, of course, in the Rockhampton Guineas, but knocked up.
Yeah, well, I think we see here Hit Snooze, who's not on the screen there, but Hit Snooze will definitely lead. There's a couple of others that can go forward, Southern Swing and In Waves, and probably Hey Pal as well. But I think he'll probably take a sit this time around. As you mentioned, he went too hard last time. Wide gates for many of the favoured runners.
But we might start with the Rockhampton Guineas, Side Hustle and Svindle, but Valladium was also in this race, Chris.
Yeah, well, Side Hustle, there you saw it, and Svindle comes down the outside and just knocks them all out. Now, the pace was on in this race, and that really did suit Svindle, as you see. He was able to get to the outside and run home well. I like the way Side Hustle fought onto the line, and they did pair out, and I think they'll probably pair out again. Here, there's a couple rushing home at the back there. You saw Valladium in the diagonal stripes as well. But look, for mine, Svindle gets the nod. He's only up 60 metres here. He might be looking for a touch further than that. But look, I think he can draw, or from that good draw, he should be able to find a half-decent spot there. And you might find him closer in the run. Look, Side Hustle, ex-Bjorn Baker, one start for Chris Addard, and that was the second we just saw at Rockhampton. And that was his first start for over a month, Jay. So I think he's going to take a lot of benefit fitness-wise. So I think one of the two will be winning. I think Last Edition can certainly run well, and you're going to get to that replay now, aren't you?
5 deep. Last Edition is getting to the outside.
And you see Last Edition getting right to the outside here in the gold and the red colours under the whip. He finishes off very hard. He takes his time to wind up and get home over the top of the leader, but he was able to get there right on the line. And he's a horse that's going to be really suited out to the 1,560-metre trip.
The TAB Northern Winter Series is such that we'll be looking for our guide from the previous feature meeting into the new feature meeting. And I guess from what you said earlier, Svindle and Side Hustle are going to be right at the top of your tips, Chris.
Yeah, I think so, Jay. So I think they'll carry that rocky form up a little bit further up the coast of Mackay. And I think Svindle will be a little bit too strong. I certainly think Side Hustle's in with a great chance also. I think one of the two will win the race, and expect the 4 and the 13 to be running on strongly at the right end of the race. So 6, 2, 4 and 13 in the Guineas for me.
6, 2, 4 and 13, hoping that Svindle can continue its wonderful form. It was a little bit of a rough result winning the Rockhampton Guineas, but hopefully he can go back-to-back for Chris Nelson. Now we move on to the second of our features, the Newmarket. This is going to be a cracker, and from the people I spoke to today, this is one race where bad draws are going to matter big time because the 1,300-metre start, very unforgiving.
Yeah, you're right. And the wide gates, a lot of these main chances have drawn wide gates. But look, on the map, I think Inquiry is going to find the lead pretty easily from that perfect gate there, gate number 2. Monsieur Gustave and Dr. Zeus. Now, they're going to have to get across from their wide draws. They should be able to on that map. And if they can, they'll certainly figure in the finish.
I think the first replay we should go to is Deadly Choices. It's been more than a month, more like 6 weeks between runs, but you were pretty happy with what you saw first up from a break?
This was an enormous run at Townsville. Now, this is a very good horse, Deadly Choices. He won that provincial race at Eagle Farm back last year. He's got a terrific record. He's drawn out, unfortunately, here, but I just wouldn't count him out. You watch the way he finds the line here late. He's very strong, and that was his first run for some time. He's going to take a lot of improvement from that performance.
And the Rocky Newmarket, we saw Inquiry and Drumbeat's Choice. They just went too quick, so it's a forgive run for Inquiry, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Inquiry and Master Jamie went way too fast in that race. They went 34.44 their first 600. That won't happen here. you're going to see Inquiry get a softer time of it in front, and he's going to be a lot harder to beat. Now, the other one there, Deadly Choices, you'll see rushing through the pack, flying into third spot late, also goes around in the Newmarket on Saturday.
A few good judges I spoke to said Inquiry can't get beaten, will lead and win, but you're the best judge of all. Have you got Inquiry on top?
I don't know about that, but I have got Inquiry on top, that's for sure. I think if you look back at his previous form, I mean, the start before last time when he was going too hard in that race, he beat Scalapini at Doomben in fast time. He's won twice here, and they've both been at the distance of 1,300, and that's Saturday's trip. So one on top for me. Deadly Choices I'm throwing in. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's a very nice horse. And then the two that have drawn awkward gates, but they'll be running on. Monsieur Gustave won't be. He'll be up on the speed, but the other one will be there, and that's number 8.
They're the entrees. Here's the main course. It's the Mackay Cup, worth $85,000 on Friday. It's a terrific field. It's probably not as strong a race as the Rockhampton Cup, but some really nice horses engaged here, and Magstock backs up, and I think he caught your eye.
He did. Look, I think Lady Skills and North Africa are the main speed in the race. Sharanda likely gets over from a wide gate, and he's racing really well at the moment, Sharanda. If he does, he'll be tough to beat.
Sharanda did go great guns, of course, in the Rocky Cup, I guess, and the other one that caught the eye, as I mentioned, is Magstock. Take us through the replay and what you made of it.
Well, Magstock came from well back. You'll see him on the outside there in the yellow, and you'll see Sharanda up close running second at the moment. Absolute Art, he led all the way. He ran good time. He's a real Vo Rogue type front running horse, and he just breaks their hearts. But Sharanda fought on very well. You see there the fence and Magstock coming down the outside in the yellow colours. They were both very good runs from a Mackay Cup viewpoint.
You and I are both lovers and not fighters, and I feel like you've been seduced by Magstock. You know who he is. You know he might let you down, but I've got a funny feeling he's on top for you.
Oh, I have been seduced once again. And look, I just think he's better than these. And the fact that he's out to 2,000 metres is a big plus. Mackay's probably a negative. He's going to have to get on his bike here, Bubba Tilly, before the home turn and wind this horse up. He will get to the outside from that wide gate. He was very good at Rocky. He's nicely weighted. And, of course, he's got Metro form. So 7 Magstop, 8 Sharanda, absolutely flying. The 6 Katamara L will run the trip right out, and 2 Fabs Cowboy.
We saw it first, Magstock on top for Chris Nelson. One man who's going to try and make Chris wrong. It's a very difficult thing to do. Such a wonderful judge, but one man trying to make sure he's wrong is John Manselman. John, I spoke to you on the phone a little earlier today. You stopped short of swearing at me, but the barrier draws haven't been kind in the Newmarket or the Cup with Drumbeat's Choice or Sharanda.
No, mate, very ordinary. The barrier man's holding his form very well. He gave us crappy draws in Rocky, and he's done it again in Mackay.
I'm hearing that from a lot of trainers, John. There must be some trainers out there that are getting good draws.
Yeah, but not this trainer.
Not you. Now, Sharanda, absolutely flying at the moment, was a dominant winner last time out. That was on a quick backup. Career best form at the moment?
Yeah, I'd say he would be. If he was the human, he'd be doing ads for Jenny Craig. He's a really good doer, the bugger. So I sort of had to give him that one run in between Rocky Cup and Mackay Cup, and as you can see in this film, he went really well.
And map-wise, from my viewpoint, he should be able to get across okay. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, Ali's going to have her work cut out because from that wide alley, but it is a good start at Mackay. We're starting right at the top of the straight, so we're going to have the whole straight to get across and hopefully get in somewhere. A lot tougher for Drumbeat's Choice. You know that he's flying terrific last start performance, but a lot harder from that 1,300-metre start. Yeah, he went terrific in Rocky, but it's probably a killer alley out there from the 1,300-metre start, especially with something like Inquiry drawing a plum alley. Like on the inside, he's going to be right on the bunny and be extremely hard to beat. He's just got to ride him as cold as a mackerel, I suppose, and just get to the outside of the straight, and hopefully they've gone fast enough where he can get over the top late. Yeah, exactly, and they possibly will do that in this race because there's a fair few good horses, and they're all going to be jostling for position. So hopefully the speed's on. You've got him going so well. He's been around a long time. Sorry, Jace. He's been around a long time, Drumbeat's Choice, but he just keeps running good races. He doesn't seem to see the end in sight yet. No, hopefully he's not seeing it for a while. He's Tommy sent him in really great order, and he won his first couple, and then I sort of tried to step him up, thinking that the cup horses might have been a little bit weaker, but I don't think he could get the 1600 really strongly. Brad Pengelly wrote him for me in Townsville and suggested that we go back to the sprint trip. So he hit the line really good in Rocky, so hopefully he's correct.
First of all, Chris doesn't tip you on top of the cup. Then he's charging. He's trying to like suck information out of you. He asked about 15 questions there, and then he's telling you your jockey should absolutely, from a wide gate, be able to get over. No worries in the cup. He's got a lot of expectations, Chris Nelson, John Manselman. So
don't listen to me, John. I'm still working, so I can't be that successful.
Well, we're all still working, including you, John, but we very much appreciate you taking a little bit of time out to chat to us about your runners, and hopefully, we're not going to do anything terrible to the barrier man, but we'll have a little chat to him, all right?
Good on you, mate.
Along with being form analysts and also broadcasters of the highest order, Chris Nelson and I are both rabid news hounds as well, so we've been making some calls during the course of the week to catch up with the headlines heading into the Mackay Cup races on Friday. I started with Joey Hines, who's the manager at the Mackay Turf Club, and he sounded very, very relaxed, and I'll tell you why, because only 500 people can be on course along with owners, and all of those packages are already sold out. The Strathair surface, we know, always responds well to weather. It's a soft 5 going into a good 4. There's going to be wonderful weather. It's going to be a magnificent day. He did tell me, though, Christopher, that normally 4,000 people turn up on course. That would be one hell of a party. I'd like to be there. Have you ever been to a Mackay Cup before?
I haven't, Jason, but I can tell you with the money that we should win on Saturday, betting in these feature races next year is probably a given, and I'll take you with me.
Oh, if I'm with you, I know I'm going to get VIP service. I can tell you that, Christopher. That's going to be fantastic.
Well, I caught up with Kelly Schweeder, and there's a man who doesn't give too much away, Jace, as you know, but he's a very nice person, Kelly. He always gives you a little bit to think about, and he certainly did with Magstock, who you know I've tipped on top Magstock. He was quite happy with the run at Rockhampton at the end of 1600. We know he hit the line very well. He loves the fact he's going to 2000. He's not so wrapped in the fact that it's Mackay, and I tend to agree with him there, but look, this horse has drawn a wide gate. He will go back. He will be ridden cold, but you look for him to be storming down the outside. And Kelly was under that impression that his form is good enough in Brisbane to certainly measure up here. When I said to him, so Kelly, are you declaring this one? And he said, well, it is Magstock after all. So there you go. You take him on trust.
And the best story of the best story of all, I think, on Friday at Mackay is going to be Fastnet Flyer going around. This will be the 5th time that Fastnet Flyer has lined up in the Mackay Cup, has won on one occasion, I think back in 2017, has placed on another couple of occasions. I'm sure with your racing knowledge and history, I'm thinking Castletown, I'm thinking Skybow. This doesn't happen too often, does it, Chris?
No, it certainly doesn't. It'd be great if it happened once again here, but look, we'll have to wait and see on the day, Jace.
I can tell you one thing, she's very confident. She said she'll be very disappointed if Fastnet Flyer doesn't run a play. Says, OK, maybe he's not going quite as well as in previous years. He's a 9-year-old now, but she said, don't worry about the form lines. They're not representative of how he's really going, and she's confident that he can run a play. So maybe don't have the last dollar you have on Fastnet Flyer to win, but she's very confident the place money, if it's available at the right price, Fastnet Flyer can do the right thing by the punters on Friday. They're the news headlines from the Mackay Cup program, which is on Friday. Wonderful to catch up with so many of the participants, some very confident, some not so much. Hopefully, though, out of all that news, we can find a winner. Our next guest on Northern Dreams is Clinton Taylor. Let's hope he's a man who handles pressure well, because he's got 4 runners going around on Friday at Mackay in a feature meeting, and all of them are favourites. How do you thrive on pressure, Clinton? Are you okay with it, or is it getting to you a little bit?
Oh, no, I do my best work under pressure.
I like to think I do too. I'm not sure there's much evidence to suggest that's true, unfortunately. We'll start with the Guineas with Hey Pal. Went forward, got on the steel a little bit in the Rockhampton Guineas and ultimately knocked up the last 100 metres. There's going to be a temptation around Mackay to go forward again. Will he be ridden as aggressively as he was a couple of weeks ago?
Nah, he's just crying out for an alley, this horse. He drew a lot better this time from 7. We'll take a sit this time and give him his chance to run the trip. And I think he'll be a lot stronger at the finish this week.
Clinton, do you think that he runs that trip? I mean, he's not completely proven over the longer distance yet. You think if he settles, he does run it out okay?
I guess it is a question mark, but he gets the alley this week to to tell us whether he will. He will definitely take a sit. Ash will be under instructions to, be in midfield on him. Hopefully get a nice run and let him have the last crack at him.
Mackay Missile goes around in race 3 in the program looking for 4 wins on the trot with that horse. And I've got a funny feeling. I trust Chris Nelson more than I trust, most members of my family on the tip. And I think he quite likes Mackay Missile. Is he on the right track?
Yeah, geez, he's a horse in terrific form right at the moment. Justin has been with him the whole way this prep, and he's really worked out how to ride him. He's got a terrific turn of foot, and I think he'll be there at the finish.
The impressive part about that particular win to me was doing the times on the day. There wasn't a great deal of tempo in that race, so he really wasn't entitled to get home over the top of them as well as he did. That just puts plenty more merit into that win for mine.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's been to Mackay once and had a win there, but he'll get a long way back. That's just his pattern, and you'll have your heart in the mouth for a little bit. But as I said, Justin rides him so well and has a lot of faith in him. I think if he's within 5 lengths of him on the corner, I think he'll pick him up.
Terrific. Now, you've got another couple of good chances, as Jace touched on earlier. Nailed at Nan in race 1 and Bondage in race number 4. If you had to pick one of the whole 4, the entire quartet, which would be your best for the day?
Oh, geez, I'm actually going to the races with 4 terrific hopes on that. I don't think I've ever done that. But, Mackay Missile is probably racing in the best form. But, geez, they're all well. Nailed Nan's trialled up well for a first up prep. Bondage was great last start at Mackay. Mackay Missile was good, and if Hay Power repeats his Mackay run before that, he'll be right in the finish as well.
That's a good push.
I'll have 3 beers for every winner you have. Drink responsibly, of course, but I'll have 3 beers for every winner you have. You can decide exactly how many you want to have, Clinton, but we very much appreciate your time on Northern Dreams, and we wish you the best of luck at Mackay on Friday.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time.
We've had a wonderful show here. Simon O'Donnell was a great cricketer. He's a wonderful broadcaster. Whether he can squeeze back into this lineup, I have grave doubts, Chris Nelson. We've just absolutely dominated, but we need you to dominate a little further. Give us your best bets for Mackay on Friday.
There is no way in the world you're going to let him back into that chair, so I can't wait to see what's going on there next week. Best bet, race 7, number 1, Inquiry in the Newmarket, straight to the front, straight onto the plastic, and that's the last they'll see of him. And I did have Mackay Missile, Clinton Garland's horse, as a value bet in race 3, number 12, but probably not going to be as much value as I thought it was, so we'll back him straight out also.
Chris, it's been wonderful catching up with you again. You're the best in the business. You're one of the best judges, if not the best judge on thoroughbred racing. I know you hate it when I praise you. You get all sort of strange and funny, but you are outstanding. I've won a lot of money backing your tips, and I'll be following you in on Friday at Mackay.
Thank you, Jason. Very kind words.
There's a wrap for episode 2 of Northern Dreams. The TAB Northern Winter Series continues at Mackay on Friday. Good luck and good punting.